trip out of the tree, though.
What up, YouTube?
Yes, we're up on YouTube now, as we usually do, and
I got.
exclusive
I know.
segment. Although Jesse's,
I should have been more prepared for this. Jesse, what?
go ahead.
No, what were we gonna say? That's gonna bug
No,
me.
Jesse's been getting it up, almost some of it on Facebook, but go ahead.
He has been.
Yeah.
Today I'm doing the glowy lip color. It's nothing really that great, but you can buy it at Target.
Yeah.
This one pisses me off because you close it and it all comes out the side, so I don't really advertise it. But it works good for the studio because no one sees it.
What a resounding endorsement of that one.
Well, until they start paying me. Oh man, I got it on my little thing.
Also, how to be a slop with your makeup on Makeup with Stephanie.
Let me use my other finger. Hang on. There we go.
We'll be cranking in 5 seconds on Newswire Daily on Facebook.
Such a mess, man. Oh my
Starting another broadcast day on Newswire Daily, as we've been up on Facebook Live on YouTube, and now we're on Facebook Live. On that is, I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about.
He doesn't even know where we're at.
Which one we're on?
Today's Taco Tuesday.
Yes, it is. It's Taco Tuesday.
Also,
I
got excited.
As you can see by the decorations going up on here, and the man to my left joining Stephanie and I today. Today celebrating his 80th year on the top side of the grass, my dad, Roy Pete Bleckert Jr., is here in studio on that. Happy 80th birthday, Pop.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Pop.
Thank you.
Everybody write in and write Pop a happy birthday message.
Yes.
Or call in.
Or call in.
At
951
242.
5397.
Yes, I got it right.
Boy, you got 3 of them right.
Damn.
On that. Man, yes, I made a post up on today on that that's got a lot of comments on that. We'll run through them on that. Some of longtime acquaintances, friends, everybody that has known my dad on there. Oh, Don Harkey, look at see this one. Go on my news feed on my Roy Bleckert page of that. Looking for Don Harkey. He posted Don Harkey. He raced Orange Show Speedway. He's about 4 or 5 years older than me. We kind of grew up
That's
together.
an awesome picture.
Don Harkey is the
I love
official
that.
historian of Orange Show Speedway in Southern California racing. I went to this guy's house, and I've got a picture that I got from him, one of the others that I got from him, from that of Dad in the pickup on a program in 1963, I say. This guy has he has stuff from mostly Orange Show Speedway, but all over. San Gabriel, Old 605, Riverside, Ontario, he's got films, like I see his page. I'll keep the picture up of that. This is the first car he ran at Riverside on the road course, and this car was built in 30 days. I've got one picture of it as we were building it. This car was built in 30 days. Starting in December of 70, it was, and you had to be there. Back in the day at Riverside, you had to qualify the Sportsman cars, which is now the Xfinity Series, late model Sportsman division of that. Qualified a week before. And I think this particular race, there was like 100 cars showed up. And we were actually painting the car, and I don't have the pictures here. We had pictures of me and him painting the car, or him painting the car, me standing there watching it.
Holding the lights.
Yeah, I'm holding the light as he's painting the car.
Midnight.
At midnight,
Yeah.
Friday night, because you got to be there Saturday morning at 7 o'clock. So we're painting the car, shooting it at like midnight there to get it there. And didn't Fritz letter this?
Yeah, Fritz
lettered this. He just recently passed away. Fritz always brought all his sign painting stuff because he would paint especially at Riverside on Ontario, there was more than one person that usually showed up, with a car that, that was like this with the paint dripping off of it almost, and he would letter them in the pits and stuff like that. He was absolutely great. I mean, he was phenomenal back in the day with the old hand painting stuff. But back before vinyl and computers and stuff, guys actually hand painted these numbers and letters. They were true artists back in the day. But Harkey posted that on the post of that. That's just one. We got some of the more of the pictures of that. But do you remember when was this in the qualifying race or the race itself?
No, I think that was in a race. Somebody run. I had to miss somebody.
It looks like because there's another car we can't
that's
make
going
out.
up into turn 6, and
Yes.
there's a crash back there, and I'm missing. I'm out into the dirt, getting away from them, trying to get into turn 6 because I'm headed uphill to turn 6.
Right.
You can see one turned around. I don't remember how many were crashed back there, but I was missing them all.
But I made go ahead and put the post up back to the original post I did on that. There you go. And I put this up 3 hours ago. Pop turns 80, second day on that. What do we got? We got a 70 already likes on it, 39 comments, 3 shares across it. Just on all the people that have picked up on that and posted on this today. Like I say, that's a picture, and I think that's January. So the picture you're seeing there with him on there is January '74. That was the only car we built at Hubbard Street.
Yeah.
And if you come to my shop today, and I got a modified sitting up there, and I don't know where you got them, but we still got them today. I built a frame jig out of it, but we built that car in a 2-car garage out and back of where we probably lived at the most on Hubbard Street. And he brought home 2 20-foot I-beams, and that's where we laid the frame of that up in 1973. We stripped the car out, laid the frame up on that, started building the cage and all that. That car was, and like I say, that was the only car I think we ever built at Hubbard Street.
When I brought it in, it was a burnt car out of a wrecking yard. It was burnt,
Yes.
crispy critter. It was rusty, and oh man, it was a sad-looking piece.
Which I get to do that because that was the first car. And I'll show you. I hope we got some pictures of the first one that I stripped out. There's a good story behind that. But that was the first car because we built that because that was actually the second car. The one you see in the '64 Le Mans was the first one, but that we built down at Andy's shop down in Riverside, which I drove by there the other day. I went to Industrial Metals. The old shop is still there.
Yeah.
The old shop on North Main, and there's a good story about that too.
Yeah.
of that, but no, that was and I remember that because they got to help lay out. That was the first one, the old Le Mans, not that Le Mans, but the second one we rebodied on the old '57 was the one I first got to at 9 years old. I actually got to gut that car out, and there's a story behind that. But I actually got to help them lay out the cage on that and bend the tubing and stuff like that. But we basically built that car in the garage out at that. And that's kind of like, and we talked with Tommy Joe Martins, who's a current Xfinity racer. And that's the difference between racing today. Racing today, even at the NASCAR level of that, or the Xfinity, what they used to call the old late model sportsman division. You could build a car in your backyard, garage, whatever, take it to the race and race it anywhere from Orange Show Speedway to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina on the Bull Rings, Hickory, North Carolina, Skagit, Washington, whomever, or Daytona, Riverside, Ontario, Charlotte, or anything else. It was the same rule that you built. They put out the rules. You built a car. You showed up and raced, and it was a time and period where practically anybody, if you had the will to go out there and do it, you could go out there and build a car and go race. Pretty much, at even some of the highest levels. And that's a day that I sadly see slipping away on that. And we talked with Tommy Joe Martins on that, of some of the things I talk about on racing, and I talk about politics, and I talk about quality of life and a lot of things that I do of that. And I'm rambling on, I know that, as I tend to do on that. But the roundabout way, and I'll get your comments on it, but a roundabout way, even though they're all different elements to life or different genres, everything seems to be taking the same direction, and I think it's taking a wrong turn on a lot of this stuff. Or, like I said, for me personally, the kids growing up today and generations like from millennials to the kids growing up today, I'm really sad that they didn't have the opportunities to experience the things I was able to do. What do you say, Pop?
Well, that's like I say, that car right there. You can see that car in June when I raced it at Orange Show. Bobby Allison was there because they would come out in June and other people would give them cars. I raced against Bobby Allison, Red Farmer. I can't remember, two others that would get cars from other people, and we all raced on the Orange Show on that bull ring over there. In the same way at Irwindale when Irwindale was open.
Bobby Allison, one of the top. 74 NASCAR Winston Cup wins, two-time champion. And he used to, when he would come out here, he would fly his own, he had his own twin-engine plane. He would fly from Hueytown, Alabama, when they came out to Riverside in Ontario, landed on the back straightaway of Riverside International Raceway. He would race in the Saturday Sportsman race. He would go and race at the Orange Show Speedway, the little quarter-mile bull ring, Saturday night. Then he would come back and run Sunday on the Grand National, now Monster Energy Cup, series. And that's what I'm saying is you don't see that. There is no connection, like I said, to Fontana. There's none of the zero of the local racers like there used to be racing, and then the top guys are not racing with the other guys like it used to be. The camaraderie and stuff across pollination and stuff of everybody seeing that. If you didn't want to go out to Riverside, you could go watch Bobby Allison race that Saturday night at the Orange Show Speedway.
Yeah, he was there. Like I say, I was there at the Riverside Raceway from the first race to the last one. I watched them all. The best story I ever had was the first race they had out there was with the Cow Club, and that was in September of '57. And I'd cut school that whole week and worked out there at the racetrack. And I never thought nothing about it, and I was going to go to school the next week. And on Monday, and my mom comes up and says, "Do you want me to write you a note? I saw you out there working all week."
So, yeah. So, you want?
I want to see the other one.
Oh, you want to see that one? Okay.
Yeah.
So there, you see that car that's in the picture. Well, that's the next race at Ontario in '74. You see it on that. So if you could, Jesse, if you can zoom in on that one a little bit, that's in between. That's that car. You'll see it was repainted on that after the yellow. It was at I think that's like about 2 months later in February. I think the first race is January. This is February of '74, if I believe. There it is, thumping the wall. Here's the picture of it. And I don't know if Chuck Becker III is in it, but there's Junior Becker or Chuck Becker Jr. in the Torino in '16. You can see Dad hitting the wall. Did Junior spin first, or what happened in that whole deal?
I don't remember. Things happen so fast. When you're out there, it goes by so quick. You ain't paying attention. All you're trying to do is save your butt. That's what you're trying to do. You ain't worried about what's happening to everybody else.
I kind of did, because he's ahead of you on the deal.
I think he hit me behind and started me into the spin, but took him around me. I can remember that car going around me. It was behind me and went around me somehow. I don't remember how it got there.
Okay, so that's the aftermath of that. So that was it. Scrapped that paint job. And then we're back to, this is the car as it last ran in 1975. So you're kind of seeing the history of the old 70 Chevelle, and that's the last one he ran out there. Here's a picture of the first car. That's the one I said we built in like 30 days in December of 1970 across the board there. Here's another one. This is at the old Irwindale Speedway, as you can see. The one that is, and if you sit in the top grandstands of the new Irwindale and you look kind of to the east, southeast a little bit, and you see a bunch of electrical wires and stuff over there in a electrical substation, that was right behind the back straightaway of Irwindale Speedway there. So you can actually see where the old track was and where the office building that sits on it today. From the grandstands, if you know where it's at, you can actually see where the old track was. But then again, there's I believe that's Junior Becker again, and Floyd and Gussie Johnson, 67,
yeah, 67 car.
Chevelle, and that's Richard White, I think, in the 64 Ford. But that's at the old one over there. Here you go. This is one. There was a berm at the old 605, and then as you can see, there's one guy spinning in front of that, and I think he kind of dodged to miss him and was flying over the berm at the old Irwindale Speedway.
That's an awesome photo.
On that, yeah, that's a really cool photo of that's going on that. Here you go. And this, I believe, this is the last race at Riverside going across there. Yeah, that's, again, there's Richard White, I think, again, behind him again. Same guy's running the short tracks.
That's turn 6, yeah.
Yeah, that's going into turn 6 on that. But look for this is the one I want. Here's Don Harkey posted this. Like I say, he's got thousands of memorabilia. This is 1963 program of the National Orange Show, Western States Racing Association. This is kind of the jalopy stock car days, kind of they're transitioning over. But as you can see right here, that's his first race car, the old pickup truck. And I was over there getting some other stuff, some memorabilia for that, or I found this in Harkey. Harkey actually posted this, and I didn't even know that. This was like the first year he went to the Orange Show Speedway in 1963.
61.
No, he went. He went in 63.
Yeah, he went 3, yeah.
So this is Sonny Klein. His younger brother Roy raced his dad. His dad owned a wrecking yard, UNI, over in still there over in Rialto of that. But he said Sonny Klein was his favorite stock car driver, and Dad was his favorite jalopy driver because he liked the pickup. Because if you can kind of see it in there, if you can kind of see in the photo, there's a pickup bed on that. It's kind of hard to see because he's backed up against the fence on that. But what was really neat is the car was 166 and 61, 62, but I don't know why you painted it silver in that and number 37. And when I saw it, he didn't even remember that in 63 that he had painted the car and it's silver and numbered it 37 and 63.
Yeah.
When I showed him the program, I said, "When did you run it? When did you run another number 37 car on that?" So that was kind of interesting. Some of the things you go by when things go by like 50 plus years.
You got to remember.
It's really cool to watch how those cars change so much throughout the years.
Oh, yes.
Just remember now, I was the one that set the trend of pickup trucks that they run today.
So, yeah, it's going. Yeah, you can imagine what, the transition. Maybe we should do that one day, is like go through the history of racing and stuff of how cars evolved. You can kind of see it there. It's like you pointed out. It's really it is the same. You're doing the same thing and even racing on the same tracks, but it's like a whole different world compared to what it was back in the day to what you do now.
And writes in, Pete and Roy, great racing history. Robert writes in, happy birthday, Pete Bleckert. And Jeffrey writes in, happy birthday, as well as howdy, happy birthday, from Chuck.
Thank you.
There you go. Yeah, like some of the ones on the timeline, Chuck Becker writing in, happy birthday, young man. Jill writing in, happy birthday, Roy's dad. Penny Pritchett, happy birthday. Jack Engstrom, happy birthday. A lot of them, Jimmy Meeks is writing in. Cool one. Moses Reza put one up. If you go to my timeline of him sliding the thing on there. Jennifer DeJong, happy birthday, Pete. Tell him Rick DeJong says hi. Norma Leonard wrote in. Jerry Spencer, Rochelle Snow, Karen McCall, Johnny Horan, Jerry Dodd, and a lot of others. Like you said, over 39 comments and 70 some odd likes on it. So a lot of people still out there remember you.
Thank you. I didn't know I was going to make it this far.
Yeah, that's a pretty good accomplishment. 80 years sitting on the top side of the grass.
I started into this racing when my Uncle Harvey had a midget when I was 8 or 9 years old, and I was helping him work on that. And he got killed in 1951 in a midget. But I remember that's how I got started in it. I was just a little kid too. I was probably it would have been about the same age Roy started out, 9, 10 years old.
Yep.
It's kind of a family tradition.
Yep, Zanesville, Ohio, at the fairgrounds. With the track in Zanesville, Ohio, where Harvey got killed, is still running today. It's still a speedway. They still race there. A little quarter-mile bull ring on that, and it's again back in those days. Along with it, along with it being very different, your chance of surviving back in, from the days gone by were a lot less than they are today. You can complain or did or not like it, but that's one thing that racing has done over the years. They've made the sport much, much safer. Even though you're going much faster in that, the guys that get seriously hurt or even killed in racing anymore is few and far between. I mean, just like we've seen the one with Ryan Newman, with a potentially devastating looking crash at Daytona, and I mean 2 days later he walked out. And in fact, Ryan Newman, he wasn't racing, but he was with his team in Phoenix this Sunday, helping them out and giving Ross Chastain, the guy that's driving the cars, while driving his number 6 Ford, out there at this time. He's giving him some pointers and advice on what to do and anything else. So in that respect, racing has come a long, long way.
Ann writes in, the pickup was my favorite, and Michael writes in, happy birthday, Pete.
Thank you. Yeah, but they weren't even going to let me race it when the first time I brought it over there. They says, no, we don't race pickups here. Everybody had to have a Cooper sedan. And I says, what's the difference? Took me
So
a while.
did you win with the pickup truck?
Oh, yeah, I don't remember when, but that was
okay.
that's a long time ago. But it was a lot of fun driving that car. It was the first one I ever built. And I built that just in a not even in a garage, on the lot. Didn't even have a garage. I had a 10 by 10 shed that I had my tools in. Racing was a lot of fun back in them days. You could have a lot of fun doing that. A lot of good people you met, had a lot of fun.
What do you think about all the changes they made to racing?
It ruined it for the little guy. You either got to have rich parents or rich sponsors or something else. Like
Yeah.
they say, walking through the pits there, over there at Fontana, I was telling Roy, I says, I couldn't even afford to buy all the tires and wheels for the hauler truck that just went over there. Loan all the stuff that was
That's a
in
good
there.
point.
I mean, all them
Yeah.
wheels and everything. Them trucks are worth millions, what's in them. The truck and trailer, they're expensive. You can't, the little guy is burnt out. He can't do that. There's a lot of good racers out there that'll never get to go racing because of the money.
Yeah, that's a sad way to look at it, too.
It is.
But it's totally 100% true.
Yeah.
But that's why, like Paris Auto Speedway. I mean, at least we have that. They can race there.
Yes, and
Yeah.
it even is filtered down, and they're having a lot of things on the short track stuff of that. And it's even affected the short track racing and stuff, the technology and the money and stuff like that's involved in getting in. It does make it very difficult. Like I say, it's taken away the opportunity in a lot of places that, to get into the sport. And like we talked with Tommy Joe and stuff on that. And like I've said, it's the opportunities that go all across the board on that. I see that in our political process, in our daily lives and stuff. I just see the opportunity is not there to start from the bottom or that,
Right.
or get in the sport or do something that you want to do, whatever it is. Things are so complicated, expensive, or people tell you can't do this, or there's 27,000 rules and regulations and da-da-da-da-da. It just it becomes so more overwhelming. It's easier. It makes it much easier for people to quit or not attempt it, or decide that, well, I'm not going to do that, or they think, well, I'll never be able to do that because of this, which in a way, like I say, is kind of sad.
It is. But how do you change that? I mean...
Well, we started that, and it does, and in my view, it changes from a lot. It just first thing, in order to fix a problem, you must first identify it. So once you identify the problem, then you can go about fixing it.
Right.
I mean, that's the basic thing. Is a lot of people know or have an intrinsic idea of what it is. But they're just not sure whatever or fix it, how to fix it. It's one of the things, and I think I go back to this example. Trump is one of the masters of it. I mean, he can take complicated subjects and break it down really simply, or make it easy for people to understand. We bring capital back, we cut the taxes, we bring capital back into the U.S. that's sitting overseas, while we're going to have opportunity jobs, and things like that. And he got it in place, and you've seen how it works. It works. the concepts are simple. Just trying to get everybody to row the boat in the same direction is sometimes and usually the most difficult part in this stuff.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, like I say, I got to enjoy myself playing race car, but everybody else has you can still play at your local racetrack, but unless you can get somebody to pick you up with it being a good sponsor or something, want to move you on up, it's really a hard way to get up the road.
That's a shame too.
Yeah.
It's too bad that like Fontana, the auto club doesn't do like where you can go out there and try to get picked up. Do they do that? Like,
Well,
you know how like football,
yes.
you can get picked up by coaches and stuff like that.
Well, it was.
Do they do something
They
similar
do,
like that?
but that's why I say those opportunities. It used to be you used to build your own car, go out to the local track, and man, if you were one of the guys that started winning a lot or something, then hey, this guy would pick you up. Dad. It was kind of like the feeder series. Well, now it's become so expensive to do that. Like he says, there's a lot of there's just not as many opportunities to do that.
Right.
Of getting out there and doing that, and it's become a lot. It's become very hyper competitive, in that it's just not a day where you can, where there's a lot of things. I mean, they did not make it too complicated, but rules and money wise and things getting so expensive and stuff to do, that. In our antiseptic society of that, I mean, I'll tell you this. I mean, and I don't know if any of the guys like Chuck Becker, Don Harkey, or Kevin Reniker, or any of them guys are on there, but they will tell you at the Orange Show Speedway, one of the great things about the Orange Show Speedway is, like we used to say, we used to go to a race and the fights would break out. Because I mean, there was hardly a night there wasn't some sort of. If it wasn't in the stands, it was down in the pits. Somebody took you out or whatever, and you go over there and thump their head in or something, or people arguing. Okay, maybe the wives would start something back and forth, or going other, fans in the stands. I'm an Ivan Baldwin fan. I'm a Chuck Becker fan. Ivan takes Chuck out, and they start, Rip Roaring today. It was like a whole different scene back in the, days, but it took that color away from it, and we all survived. I mean, but it took that, it took that color away from, what I think brought people out. It was, well, sure, it was. You went out there to have fun.
They'd break it up. They wouldn't have you get hurt, but you get your anxieties out. Is basically
people get mad at each other.
I can see I see how you guys all talk to each other in the pits and everything, so I can see why someone would deck somebody out.
Or do you need batteries?
No, I turned it off because I was drinking my tea. I forgot to turn it back on.
But yeah, it's.
But no, I mean, you kind of got a flavor of that because, like you say, you attended your first drivers meeting and they had whatever.
Oh yeah, they were totally roasting each other. So that's why I'm like, I can see where you deck someone,
right.
But
I mean,
especially after a few beers.
It's a.
Well, didn't you guys see that on last week's race there? One guy ran in the pits. They showed him up there. He took after him, but they broke it up. But they still do that. They just don't like showing it anymore. But that happens still to this day.
But again, in a lot of the racing, I mean, you see that because of the big money and the sponsors and stuff, the drivers are not as colorful. They don't say it. You won't see let's say the NASCAR stars talking on camera,
right.
Like you heard them in the pits. You will see them if you get them away from that, or if you go to the drivers meeting, not so much on that, but I mean, if you just get more into where they're in the pit scene or something, they still talk the same way of like that.
Do they? Because I'm like, the ones that we met,
yes,
they seem a little nice.
But yeah, well, that's because we're meeting them in the press
I know,
room, But I mean, getting back into the garage environment or the pits environment or working in the shop,
right?
Of that. That's just the way things are. It's just but you learn, and that's one of the things that I see a lot in society stuff. I mean, it's the environment I grew up in. I learned that stuff. That's how I learned to survive in the world, or learn to do things, or learn to adapt, or learn how to read situations because I was around that environment all the time.
Right.
So, I just wasn't. sitting there and most of us, I mean, most of the kids and stuff I grew up with, we were in that environment. We knew. So when we got out in the real world, heck, this is like, this is like duck soup. I mean, we've already experienced those things. We know how to handle it. It's just going and doing it. So, again, I see all across the board. Be careful what you wish for, because you're not going to make the Garden of Eden. You're not going to make this, Wizard of Oz stuff. You take a lot of the fun and enjoyment and excitement out of it when you take away some of that intrigue.
We want fights.
Yes. Of that, but that's the real world. That's what people do.
You know what? But I do agree with you in some sense, because like if a fight breaks out right now, I panic on the inside. Like my anxiety goes from like 0 to like 1,000. See, but if I was around it,
30 seconds.
I'd just be numb to it. Like,
yeah, well, let's get
society's making me a freaking wimp, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
And it is, and it's making everybody that way. And again, it's going to be at our peril of doing it. You're going to see why, because we're going to play some tape of the.
Ridiculous.
Here we go. 10 seconds.
Anytime you want.
IE Newswire Daily is on the air.
The following is a paid program. Views and claims expressed, those of program produced at...
That funky slide guitar music as we're rolling it in on a
Taco
Tuesday on that. And as you can see, we're in with Stephanie, and my dad's in. It's his 80th birthday. As we've outlined a lot, we talked about some of the old days and racing and stuff and growing up and all that stuff. But just want to say happy 80th birthday. Love you, Pop, and hope you get 80 more.
I do too. I want to get to 100.
You never know. You never know with all this stuff going on that, contra-virus or coronavirus, I still got to say. I don't know why I'm going to say that. I keep saying contra-virus. That coronavirus notwithstanding that, and we're going to get into the mass hysteria on that here in a bit, because, man, things are breaking out. You ain't going to believe what's happening at UCR. Remember what I told y'all back in the day? I said, you're going to read the day when you took UCR from an agricultural school to this modern institution of left-wing claptrap. Because
I don't even know what that
not
means.
only have they ruined the city of Riverside, which we well documented, we won't get into that, you ain't going to believe what's going on over a coronavirus. I did that so you could correct me on that. Oh, you ain't going to believe the hysteria that's breaking out at UCR right now of that. But we rolled through some of the stuff. I'm going to do this. This is the first, one of the first cars you can see, and if you can zoom in on that, there's the pickup truck. This is a program from 1963. At the
35 cents.
Yeah, 35 cents.
I wanted to point that out.
Yes. You pull out some of this stuff. Admission, I think, was $1.
Wow.
To get in the stands.
Well, it's still cheap now.
And the deal. And you know what? You take the Orange Show, which is seat about 8,000 to 10,000 people. Back in the day, that place was packed.
Oh yeah.
You couldn't hardly get. There was nothing to do on that. We went through a lot of the stuff that was going on. There's a car. There's the first car, Riverside car at Riverside on that in January of 1971.
That's a sweet looking car.
Yeah, so 64 Le Mans of doing that. There's the 70 Chevelle. That was the last car he ran. I think that's the first race out in January of.
So why the number 22? Did it mean anything, or did you just like it?
That was the number they just NASCAR would assign you numbers, and that was the number when he came in 71 when we built that car. They said you got 22.
Do they now allow you to pick numbers?
Well, they would. No, you're assigned that. No, the number 3 is that Dale Earnhardt drove, and now Austin Dillon runs. Is owned by actually Richard Childress Racing. The number 6 that Ryan Newman does is owned by Roush Fenway Racing. 48 is run by Hendrick Racing for Jimmy Johnson, and on and on. You own as long as you keep it, you own that. Now, if you retire or something,
So then you can pick your driver for that number.
Yeah, the car owner owns the number per se of that until the car owner quits. If, let's say, Richard Childress decided, the heck with it, I'm leaving NASCAR, going fishing or whatever, then the number 3 would be back in play.
Right.
Of that. But as long as you renew your NASCAR membership, or now it's a franchise deal in the bigger, as long as you renew that number stays with you as long as.
So who drives for 22 now?
Who drives for what?
Number 22.
Well, if you want to go in the Monster Energy Cup, it's Joey Logano.
Is he good?
Yeah, he's pretty
Just
darn
won.
good. Yeah, he's a champion.
Good job, Joey.
He was a champion 2 years. Kyle Busch was last year. 2 years ago, he was a champion.
Okay. Well,
Drives for Penske. No, Joey Logano is one of the top drivers, probably one of the top 5 drivers.
because he's driving a 22.
Oh, there you go.
Just like Pop.
There you go. Back in the day, lucky number on that.
And it is.
Of that. But that was part of the fun and of stuff. And yeah, a lot of messages. Over 80 likes, 40 some odd comments on the post I made today at around noon on that. We got all the decorations up on that. But I thought I'd roll it in on that just to do that. Chuck Becker III, which is like me, and he's about the same age I was, writes in, racers now want to buy prefabricated stuff now instead of to build it. No ingenuity. And that's exactly right. I mean, I do that. Actually, I got something I'm behind on, but I do run on that. And I'm probably, in a little bit, I'm probably sort of responsible a little bit of some of this stuff because, I mean, you heard the stories about, like, the car I built in 96 that caused a big stir on that. I mean, I did another big revolution in 2006 on the dirt, late model modified stuff of, actually, I think, and I mean, I can't necessarily prove it, but it was really the first one to figure out that you really needed to keep the left rear spring preloaded in these dirt track cars with the 4-link suspension on stuff. But again, my problem is I'm usually way ahead of my time when I figure all this stuff out, and technology usually catches up with me, but I'm about ready to pop a new deal on them here. Coming up here pretty soon on that whole rigmarole, because they finally caught up, or figure technology finally caught up to the way where it's actually working. And a lot you ask most guys now, and they're working with the preload and the springs and the shock technology and stuff works with that, like back in the stuff like that. But anyway, coming back on that, yeah, no, I'm rambling again on that, but I just wanted to roll that out. Jeffrey Thilsher writes in, you go to Madeira Speedway on MAV TV to move up and get picked up by a team like a Haley Deegan did. Yeah, I mean, it does happen. It just doesn't happen as frequently as it did, like that. And again, Haley Deegan, her dad was Brian Deegan, that's big in the X Games stuff. So, again, they had the connections to get her up in the, and get her noticed and, build the cars and that. We'll see how she does. She's doing pretty good. I think she finished, she's running the ARCA series this year, ran the K&N Pro West series on. Ran at the Orange Show Speedway a couple years ago. We had some film of that coming up when we were on the show before that. So it happens, but I agree with Chuck. I really wish there was more especially in the short track era, that guys could actually build their own stuff, in their backyard and go out there and race it.
And it was a family deal too, like
Yes.
the Beckers. I raced against his dad, Chuck Becker Sr., Chuck Becker Jr., Rick Becker, Randy Becker. They had a big junkyard over there in San Bernardino. they had a lot of cars. They had the relatives. I can't remember how many of the other relatives they had to race there. I can't remember their names right now, but they were related to that same family. It was a family affair.
Yes, it was. It was. We all. It was a tight knit group of that. And even though we used to, we'd go out there and hassle and race on Saturday night, beat and bang and destroy it. But if you needed help on Sunday, there were no. If you were called out to Calvary or something, you were in trouble. There's no people, racers, and I will say this, there's no people that will be there quicker to help you if you're in a bind than the people in the racing community.
That's true, because I had parts break in San Bernardino, and Chuck Sr. would send somebody over to his junkyard and bring back stuff for nothing. Same way with Sam Rose. He had a junkyard. His son raced Sammy, and if he needed something, and they could get over to their I shouldn't call it their recycling yards now.
I can't go junkyards.
They call junkyards no more, but they would get you parts and give it to you. You know, they wanted to race with you, against you, in any other way.
Yeah, it used to be called Becker's Auto Wrecking. That's what all they were always auto wrecking, stuff like that. Now you won't even see that term. It's Ecology Center and stuff like Pick Apart. Like all these frou-frou names on that. But no, it wasn't. It was my fault or something. But I called my buddy Ron Hurd up at Hanford Auto Wrecking and stuff because I was trying to get the double-decker running and that. And I gave him the wrong stuff. I called him up on Thursday. Hey, I need a brain box for the 2006 Crown Vic. He said, I'll have it to you. Or I called him up on Wednesday. He said, I'll have it to you on Friday. He didn't say, well, it's going to cost you da-da-da-da. He said, don't worry about it. We'll fix it. He said, you just need the part. I will get it to you. And it was rolling in here. So you can call on the guys if you're in trouble or you need something. They get it to you, and we'll figure out. We'll square up on it later, like he said. But if you need the part, or you had it, or I had it, and you need it in the pits, you got it. And I'm seeing that a little bit. That we're going to talk about, and we're going to wind it into the contra coronavirus thing coming up.
There you go.
Of society, but I see that in society and stuff, and that used to be. I kind of equate that to the way Sunnymead, Edgemont, and Marino was, and you can probably attest to that. That's the same way that when we were a little small farm, hillbilly community, that was the same way, too, with our neighbors and stuff. And I kind of see that slipping away all across the board.
I agree.
Yeah. I don't even know all of my neighbors anymore. I just met one last week. It was living right there because we
had a little condition we'll be reporting on a little later on.
Later on, over there.
On that.
We had to saw his tree down because it was in the way.
Yes.
But not for him, for me. But hey, you don't talk to your neighbors anymore. Nobody. Hardly. Like I say, I don't know anybody on the street I live on anymore. Everybody's moved out. One on the left, I went to school with his dad. Me and him were in the same grade. He's since passed on, but his son still lives there. That's the only one I still know.
But nobody's ever outside anymore like they used to be. Like, I feel like everybody just goes parks and then A-lines are right into the house. Or B-lines it. What is that term? A-line or B-line?
B-line.
B-line? Why?
You were the B-line.
You were good on the second one.
I was, huh? But you know what I mean?
I do. I see it all the time. Like I say, we never had bike lanes when I was a kid. We got bike lanes all over because I never see a kid ride a bike in the bike lane. Hardly ever. Once every 6 months.
I see them all the time around my house. Every day. I almost
just like kids say, well, when you were a kid, you got to skateboard. I said, it was pretty hard to skateboard in the streets when they were all dirt. Because there were all dirt out here. There were a lot of dirt streets out here when I was a kid.
Angela writes in, happy birthday, Mr. Bleckert. Enjoy.
Thank you.
But no, it is, and this is the first one. We're going to talk about the UCR, but this is
that's what we did.
This is a kind of a funny one. Like we talked about it yesterday, and the
Now I'm okay, but what if the government is trying to chill us out and calm us down by thinking everybody's acting like idiots? But what if those idiots are actually onto something? I'm just saying, like, this whole thing is a conspiracy. What if they're onto something?
So now you're getting afraid.
I don't know. Now I just don't know. I'm gonna go buy some goggles, a little breathing tube. I'm gonna put like a little net on top of that.
You were making progress yesterday. You were telling everyone, "What's wrong with you people?"
I know, but then I was thinking earlier.
I don't know. When I was a kid, we had trouble. A lot of kids dying of measles and all the other little things that we had. Nobody seemed to worry about. It just was life back then.
Coronavirus is nothing. The only people that got to worry about it is very elderly and if their immune systems are doing. Italy, I think, has the second most deaths of that, and the average age of the people that have dropped over coronavirus in Italy is 80. Most people that get coronavirus, they don't even know they have it. It's a very mild flu. Just in a very small subsect of the population is This is in Memphis, Tennessee. This is a Fox 13 video of what.
This is just awesome.
I mean,
It brings joy to my life.
Yes.
But I'm not. Hey, I might be rocking a bag tomorrow in studio.
Maybe we shouldn't show this. Maybe this is turning you paranoid.
It is.
But go ahead and roll
I'm
the
telling
video.
you, what if they're on to
But you got to
something?
explain it to the people that's on the radio that ain't watching it.
Yes,
You
this
explain
is
it to them so they understand what we're watching.
This is a lady dealing or very
trying to cope,
afraid
man.
of the coronavirus in Memphis, Tennessee. You're not going to believe this. Roll the video, Jesse.
Please.
Shelby County Health Department. She says the employee who is quarantined is not sick. She says that person is quarantined because they came in contact with a patient who tested positive for the coronavirus, but still some families are very worried.
Explain on it.
I love it. How many bags does she have on?
She must have half a
She has a plastic bag over her head with the eye popped out, kind of ripped out, right?
Yes.
A mask, a jacket with a big black trash bag underneath, 2 bags on her feet.
That's a raincoat she's got on there.
So you roll the audio.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Back it up a little bit. I want everybody to hear this lady. Shelby County Schools. She's a
Bag lady.
What's going on? We don't know.
Leaders with Shelby County Schools and the Shelby County
I
Health
mean, it was-
Department tell me
Yeah.
She's got bags on both of her feet, around her waist, 2 or 3 around her head, because she's afraid her kids are going to get coronavirus. She's going to get coronavirus at a school.
Wearing a big raincoat.
Yeah, wearing a big raincoat around there. I mean,
This.
where is it? This is such a.
Maybe, I'm telling you, maybe she's on to something.
There's been what?
It's the crazy people and the weirdos that are usually right.
The,
Everyone thinks they're wackos, and then the zombies really do come, and they're eating your kids' brains out. Every horror movie, watch them. So I don't watch them anymore.
nobody's dying of that. They're talking about canceling Coachella now, the big music
I
festival.
think it already was
Oh,
canceled.
it's canceled.
Okay.
It's October
Or
now.
yeah, moving it to October. And they're going to play NBA games with no people in the stadium. Come
Well,
on.
now I'm debating if I really want to go to Disneyland.
Yeah. I mean, what? You're going to go.
Ooh, it'd be a good time to go to Disneyland.
Yes, it'd be the perfect time
Yeah,
to go to
'cause nobody's
Disney.
gonna be
Yeah,
there.
nobody's going to be there. I mean, if they're doing all this
Nah,
stupid
people still
stuff of that. I mean, people are going crazy. It's like the deal we had yesterday. The fights are going on. People
What fights?
fighting over
Oh.
toilet paper in the Costco in Chino Hills, for God's sakes. Hoarding. You can go to
I
the.
really don't get why they're going after the toilet paper. It makes no sense.
Yes, it's some. Yeah, dude, this is it. Was this in
Valued
the
customers.
Costco? Yes. Go read it.
Due to recent outbreak of stupidity and panic purchasing by complete idiots, the nation is currently experiencing a shortage of toilet paper and common sense. We expect supplies to be replenished once these sheep-minded morons have all starved to death in their homes. Oh my gosh. Surrounded by toilet paper, but without anything to eat. Thank you for your patience.
Yes, that's a proper response.
I
To
tried.
this.
I couldn't do it without laughing.
That's a proper response to this. Why are you hoarding toilet paper? Why are you living your life as free? What is it? 250, 300,000 people die every year. 25. It's a ridiculous number that die of the regular flu every year. This thing is not that dangerous. It's a very small portion of the population that's going. There is no pandemic. Threat of the. What is the thing from the last 20 years, from SARS to all these viruses that
yeah.
were going to ruin? Talk about the conspiracies. Every year there was something that was going to wipe out the current population. We were all going to die because this, that, and the other. Swine flu. This.
Frank writes in, the media is trying to force a recession with fear.
Yes. It wouldn't surprise me that they're trying to do this.
Seriously, what if they're onto something?
Yeah,
I'm gonna say.
they're feeding the hysteria for some sort
Now I'm
of
panicking.
dingy agenda. I mean, this is nothing more than this is an email that they're sending out to all the people at UCR. They are now planning on canceling classes, sending people home, or limiting the contact or those that are on the dorms that are going to stay there. No finals on you're not going to take your finals in the class. You're going to do it at home or whatever. They're basically shutting down UCR campus, the way I read this email, for over coronavirus, which there's no cases or anything even of UCR. Why in tarnations would you be running a panica like that or shutting down the whole campus of that? Again, if the kids can be, if we can do UCR college educated students now, this is why I'm going to spin it. If you don't need him to be in a class, then why in the hell are you trying to tax us, or we're spending God knows how many billions of dollars on running these campuses on that in the state of California if we can do this all at home?
Preach it.
It's like everybody else. Look at the money that's being spent on this foolishness. Just like when Trump, when Bloomberg and Sires there both were trying to take out Trump. Look at all the money they spent. All the people that made money on that deal. That made Trump's economy. Look at the economy they put money into that. $500 million from just Bloomberg for what he spent. And I don't know how many millions that Steyer spent. And they accomplished nothing other than employing a lot of people. They didn't accomplish their goal, but they did hire a lot of people. So you got to say Trump made a lot of economy move. So it's the same thing with this. All the people are jumping all around. The economy's going to go, and the stock market went up today. So what are they worried about?
This is what drives me nuts in the UCR. Campus operation, although in-person instruction will be suspended through April 3rd, 2020, the campus will not be closed. Campus buildings will remain open, and most campus operations will continue. Why?
Why?
Yes!
Why?
If you're going to cancel classes,
Yes!
shut the whole thing down. Why would you still have it open?
Tell out of me! These are the people running
Because some people complained.
your schools.
No, I think it's the society in our community that's ruining a lot of it.
Yeah.
Honestly, because people are going to call, they're going to complain, they're going to say they don't want their students in class, they're going to shut down class, they're going to keep the campus open to keep the parents happy on that end. Sorry. It's just, it's crazy. They're trying to people please too much. Just tell them to screw off. We're keeping the classes open. If your student's not here, you're getting an F, or you're going to get sick and you might die. I mean, pick one.
At least you're back on track now.
Thank you.
You're starting to veer off the stupid.
Hey, I'm just saying, what if? What if? I'm open-minded. That's what I am.
Yeah, I'm open-minded as long as you agree with me.
Wow.
No, it's
Tell it like it is, I guess.
it's stupid that would you would you wanted them to cancel Night of Destruction last Saturday night over coronavirus? That would have been absolutely stupid.
Yeah, out in the middle of the air.
Yeah,
Out in the middle of the air.
Well, yeah,
like
I still would've
Coachella.
gone anyways.
Yeah.
you're outside. I mean, even I can.
I mean, I get it to where they don't want to spread it and like let's like the flu. I mean, if your kid's sick, keep them home so that way you don't spread it. Blah blah blah. I mean, I'm a bad parent because I still send my kids to school sick, unless they're like in bed and like they can't get up. But if they're sitting there playing video games and watching TV and eating like a normal child, no, you're going to school. So I get why they don't want to spread it, but I don't know. I think it's silly.
Reading from the email, UCR, instructors should plan to teach spring quarter courses fully online through April 3rd and prepare to continue online instruction through the remainder of the quarter as needed. This is a precautionary measure that is being announced early to provide instructors with how much time possible to prepare for academic Senate further wishes to emphasize the faculty will remain ownership and control of all online instruction and materials. Like you say, why would you keep the campus open if no students are there?
Seriously.
I mean, that doesn't make any sense. And they're preparing to do this, all, like I say, through the whole quarter of that. They're preparing to have no finals on the deal of that.
Just watch me on the camera. Stop watching me. I'm trying to be slick.
Of that, put the close up in.
No, don't put the close up in.
No,
I'm trying to
because
be,
that'll take that out.
Oh yeah, but put it
Put
on
the
them.
close up on.
Well, he's sitting right there.
Close-up camera.
I think he's already seen it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Of the deal. It's absolutely astounding, the logic. I don't get the logic behind all this at all. Of going on back and forth on this, because it's absolutely stupid. I don't know what he's doing. Good thing we went to the small camera.
Why did he leave?
I don't know. He probably maybe.
I'm trying to sing happy birthday. He's gonna do candles, and he walks out.
I told you he's full of surprises. Of what,
Bob.
what he was doing. But no, pull the small camera on that. Go.
What are you trying to do?
Go wave him back in.
He doesn't want to.
Yeah.
He
no.
saw what I was doing.
Yeah, I think that's what he did.
Leave the man alone. You're gonna go knock on it?
Yeah, tell him hurry up.
You in there? We're
Yes,
trying to
get
sing
up.
happy birthday.
Yeah, get him in the deal. But no, it's a.
He did it on purpose. It's all right.
Oh,
Record it.
We'll be. We got a couple minutes left. But no,
3 minutes.
It's absolutely astounding what's going on this stuff. Yeah. Well, no.
You know, I saw your message. I didn't pull it up though. I was focused on that. Oh yeah, where it was like, how many people ended up getting herpes from there?
Yeah, but that's kind of
Expected. Is that what you were gonna say? That's what you were gonna say, huh?
yeah, but that's even more preventable from me.
Yeah, true. Well, if they were wearing a mask and plastic bags, ain't nobody gonna have it. See,
Well, yeah, I
the
guess
crazy
if-
people are
Well,
onto something.
it depends where they were wearing that plastic bag at that particular time.
Hey, either way, tomato, brother. Oh God! I'm
You'd
just
have
got a
to wear
mental
those
picture.
very specific plastic bags.
Well, if I was talking about that, I would have gone. Anyways.
As we're degrading the show on that, so is a live show's perfectly neat on how these things, they're full of surprises.
They are. He knew what I was doing. He walked out on purpose.
Go
It's all right. Is he coming?
go beat on the door.
Don't go beat on the door. Who does that? Yeah, he's trying to run a show. Leave him alone.
So we're doing that on the we got about a minute left on the old enchilada on that. We're signing up. I don't know where Pop just walked out the door here for 2 minutes on the deal. We can't even wish him a final happy birthday.
We still got 3 minutes, right?
On the show. No, we
What
got
do we got?
one. We got
Oh,
one.
we got
minute.
1 minute?
We got
Damn.
1 minute left.
Oh, yeah, because we have...
Coming on, on KMET.
Well, happy birthday, Pop.
Happy
Sorry.
early birthday, Pop.
Sorry
on
you
that.
couldn't be here.
Yeah,
even though you're
you
here.
Roll out the window. On,
Got your cake with candles.
Yes, so that we we'll line them up. We'll celebrate the.
I'm not going to do that. That's stupid. But I do have 2 more cakes, too. So if you're not
Yes.
going to do this one, I'm going to make you do it 3 times.
There you go.
I'm just kidding. Totally not going to do that because you scared the hell out of me. But anyways.
There's that music coming in.
I
We'll
hope it
be
was your
back
birthday.
tomorrow.
There he is! Come
Hurry up. Get
on!
in here. We got one more. There we go. We got 30
All
seconds
right, you got to
left.
sing. Go.
Okay. Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to
you.
you.
Happy
bir-
birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Pop, on number 80. Happy birthday to you. Blow out the candle quickly. Of that. We finally got it in under this live stuff. You never know how big. Can't predict on that. Happy birthday again. 80th birthday. Happy 80th birthday. Love you on that. As we usually do. We're gone.